We are Team Confused from the University of South Alabama. Our team includes
Alex Mayfield,
Erica Kahn,
Ariel Robinson,
and Jessica Bonner.
The Freedom Writer's Diary is a true story of a high school English teacher, Aaron Gruwell, who is placed in an inner-city school located in Long Beach, California. All teachers who attempted to teach these students said they were unteachable, and they soon left that position. Mrs. Gruwell soon realized that her students faced many challenges in their home lives, like gangs, gunfire, drugs, and much more. The students underestimated their young new teacher and felt like they had nothing to learn from her because she had never experienced violence, discrimination, and hatred firsthand. One day while teaching, Mrs. Gruwell caught the students passing notes and found that the paper included racist remarks. This was the kind of hate that led to the Holocaust, and she was shocked to find out that her students had never even heard of the Holocaust. After learning this, Gruwell introduced the students to Anne Frank and Zlata's diaries. Each student was given a journal to document their feelings, fears, and experiences. The students, for the first time, began to take an interest in their academics. As the years progressed, the original students from Mrs. Gruwell's class went on to gain much success and inspired many. The summer after they graduated, they traveled to Europe to visit Anne Frank's house and some concentration camps. All of the original Freedom Writers graduated high school and went on to college because of Gruwell's determination. In this podcast, we are going to discuss a few of the diaries of the students in room 203.
In Diary 15, the student is talking about gang violence. He relates this violence to the story of Romeo and Juliet. At the end of his entry, he realizes that the gang wars are stupid, and then he asks himself, Who am I to try and change things? Many people ask themselves the same question. It is a great starter for an educator to teach about ordinary people who have gone on to create extraordinary change in the world around them. For example, people like Martin Luther King Jr. and Oskar Schindler. These are people who stood up when it wasn't easy or popular. This could be a great launching ground for discussions on doing the right thing or having a good character.
In Diary 18, a student is talking about an in-class activity called the Peanut Game. The rules of the game included one piece of paper that included a description of a peanut inside and out. This student at first thought that this game was stupid and pointless. The class couldn't understand what world peace had to do with a peanut. The student began to realize that the peanut game wasn't as stupid as they thought. They realized they didn't have to conform to the norm. While looking at the peanut in front of them, they began to realize the shape, size, and color resembled humans. They asked a very moving question. So why is it we don't care about the contour of a peanut, but we would kill over the color of a man? People today tend to judge and put labels on each other, which just causes injustice and discrimination. As a teacher, we need to set up an environment so that the students feel equal and loved.
In Diary 19, one student talks about how the students were required to write about the 1995 Oklahoma bombing. She talks about how everyone is susceptible to violence, whether it be with one person or with a group of people. She talks about how fighting is stupid and that doesn't solve anything, just makes things worse. Everyone is human and we need to respect each other and not worry about race or religion. If we can do that, we can stop gang violence and not have someone like Timothy McVeigh go insane and blow something drastic like blow up a building full of innocent people who did nothing to him.
In Diary 23, a student describes missing a lot of school and being asked about it by Mrs. Gruwell. She answered, "Nobody cares what I do, so why would I even bother to come to school?" I think as teachers we will come across this argument a lot. What does a child do when their parent doesn't care enough to make sure they do the right thing? If I got this argument from a student, I think I would answer this concern just as Mrs. Gruwell did. I will let them know that I care and believe that the student isn't living up to the potential that I know that they have. For this student, that was very good motivation to actually believe someone cared.
This is just a small glimpse of the diary entries and a few of the main focus points of what the kids went through and how one teacher was able to change their lives. We recommend reading this book and watching the movie, The Freedom Writers' Diaries. The source used in this podcast was The Freedom Writers' Diary by Aaron Gruwell and the Freedom Writers.